Waking up, I looked out the window of my new home. In all my life, I never thought I would be living in the woods. Looking out the window as I lay back to think about what I should do today. As I looked over to the boxes along the wall, I decided unpacking may be something I had to do. As I stretched, my stomach started to growl. It was breakfast time. I got out of bed, dressed for the day, and walked into the kitchen when I heard a knock at the door. I opened the door to a park ranger standing there smiling. He removed his hat and said, "Good morning, Mississippi. My name is Joe, and we noticed you moved in yesterday. I am here to inquire if you have ever lived in the woods." "Hi Joe, I am Kelly. Please come in from the cooler air." "I was just about to start a fire and make some coffee," I said. "Is everything okay?" "Sure is, just in these parts with the potential to cold and possible snowfall, we always advise our residents to ensure they have plenty of supplies on hand. I brought you out a welcome packet with our recommended supplies list." He said, "I know it's slim chances for snow, but we do get a bunch of rain, which can put you at a standstill." "Well, Joe, I appreciate that," I said, taking the packet. "As I am so new to the area, I was wondering, are there a lot of families in the area?" "There are a few families. You are about 1 mile to 3 miles apart." In the packet is a map of who owns what and lives where. "I updated your information when your grandma passed." He said, "Your grandma was an amazing woman. We all miss her." "Thank you." "I agree, Grams was an amazing woman," I said. "I do appreciate the kindness. I will look over the list, and tomorrow, I will most likely head to the stores and get the cabin fully stocked up tomorrow. My Grams had a lot in the pantry, and that was the one room I have not gone through yet to clean out, so I may have a lot of the list already." Chuckling, Joe said, "Ethel was a prepper for sure. I do suggest getting not only extra water but jugs of water. If we get flooded, we suggest using bottles until we run a bacteria test. The rangers are normally out here within 24 hours to do that for you. I want to say the only water you have connected to the main line is your sink and shower. The toilet and the washer have to use the water tank." Writing that down on the paper, I said, "Notated." He looked me over and said, "Another thing you can get is life straws. They are fairly cheap on Amazon, and I see your grandma had a rooftop water collector. I can look if you want and make sure it's hooked up. You can use that for the toilets and the washer she had. The washer is connected to the sewer as it is not a traditional washing machine." "Oh, is that what that tank is?" I said. "I also never used a washer like that. Any tips on how to use it?" He laughed and said, "Well, it has come full circle. Your grandma showed me how to use mine as I have the same model." "Okay, so you see this hose coming down?" I nodded as he continued, "If the tank is still connected when we flip this switch at the end of the hose, any water in the tank will come out." He flipped the switch, and water went into the washer. He shut it off and said, "There is water in the tank. The tank up there holds 750 gallons of water. If it rains, it will fill up, and there is a shelf inside to stop filling so it doesn't overflow. Before I leave, I will give you the phone number of the guy who can come to check it out to make sure it does not have any leaks, as well as the water co that can refill it. You rarely need extra water added, but it is nice to have if you empty it. The toilet is next to the washer. You would lift the lid on the tank and fill it to flush. Your Grams had a bubble put in, so you use less water." Nodding, I said, "Got it. Well, Joe, I owe you that coffee now. Also, if you have a thermos, I will fill it for you. Thank you, Kelly, he said as I grabbed a cup for each of us. When he came in, we sat at the table. I asked, "Do you mind if I pick your brain?" "Sure," he said. "What do you want to know?" "First, I do not see a clothesline outside," I said. "How did Grandma dry the clothes?" He stood up and said, "Do you see the wood stove in the kitchen and how it's in the corner by the bathroom wall?" "Yes, I do," I said. "Do you see the pipe that goes through the wall and the roof?" he asked. "Yes, I do," I said. "Shouldn't that be through the kitchen roof?" "Yes, it should be, but your grandma put it through the wall and the roof here as heat rises," he said. "So when the fire is hot, it will push the smoke through the pipe, and it heats the bathroom. And see this rack here? Pull it down from the wall." She placed it over the tub, and if it isn't a rainy day, you can open both windows for a cross breeze, or the stove will heat the room warm enough to dry. Now, when I shower, I wash laundry simultaneously and then hang it up overnight to dry.